Hello, sixth graders. So this is the Blue Group menu for Test 3-1. If you qualified for this Blue Group, then it is starting on October 26th, which is a Wednesday. And as you might have already figured out, I am not there. I am out of town on a cruise. Woohoo! But anyway, I'm making this recording ahead of time, so that way probably Ms. Vargas or Ms. Delara will be getting you the copies that you need, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and explain all the activities like I have been doing, and then I'm going to leave copies with them, so you'll just let them know what it is that you want to start working on, okay? And some of these things have some extra supplies that go with them. So as you can see, we have our standard board here. Remember that you're trying to equal up to 100 points. One thing is worth 40 points, everything else is worth 20, and that's because the amount of work that might need to go into this one is worth more, okay? Alrighty, so let's get started. On the board game, okay, this is what the packet will look like. It's got lots of directions, so you'll need to make sure that you read. We're talking about fractions, decimals, percents, comparing and ordering rational numbers, percent, and part of the whole. So you're going to basically be making a board game, okay? Now think about a board game. Like here's a template of one, here's some others, but these are kind of simple. You could make your own template of a board game. And in fact, I have some board games that students made last year, and I'm going to leave those with Miss Vargas. That way she can show you some of the things that we thought were really good keepers, and they allowed me to keep them, okay? But if you've played a board game, you know that there's questions, and you have to answer the questions, and then you get to roll the die or something in order to move ahead, okay? So, but these are your topics. If you're ever looking for problem examples, I included textbook pages here. So you access the textbook through Canvas, modules, and then you can get to the textbook there. These are just references if you were ever looking at problems. For comparing and ordering, here's some references. Percent and part of the whole, here's some references, okay? But basically you go through here and it tells you what you need. You need at least 20 problems. You want to make it creative. You want it to be appealing, you know, it's something that people would want to play, all right? You can see here's how you're going to be graded. There's a brainstorming page, which is this one. How are they going to move? Just think through all those things. The materials and directions page, which would be this one. 20 problems with the correct answers, of course, that would be worth 20 points. And then your final game board with the directions and all the materials. So that means if you have like little game pieces that you want to include as part of your game, then include that in there. You know, think about when you go buy a board game like Monopoly, there's lots of parts to that kind of a game. And those, you don't have to go out and buy something. It could be something that you made. And like I said, I will be putting some examples down there with Ms. Vargas, okay? But as you can see, this one does have a lot of detail to it, which is why it's worth 40 points. But I also think it could be a lot of fun. And then hopefully we can have our other students play your game when you are done with it, okay? The next thing we'll talk about, Google Slide. So basically you're showing how to convert between fractions, decimals, and percents. You need at least one example of each type. So you got to go fraction to decimal. You have to go decimal to fraction, fraction to percent, percent to fraction, decimal to percent, and percent to decimal. Okay. Each slide needs one type of problem. So don't put all different types on one slide. So that tells you right here, that means you're going to have at least 6 slides, okay, that go with there. You need the steps on how to solve it. It needs to be clear. It needs to have graphics. All right. And that is worth 20 points. When you're done with that, you're going to share it with me. Here's my email address. If you don't have a separate email address from Canvas, then you'll have to submit it to your math teacher and say, please forward this to Ms. Balish, and they will send it to me. Okay? Open Middle. If you were not in the Blue Group already, then you don't know anything about Open Middle, but Open Middle is logic, okay? You're basically following along. It's telling you to use the digits 1 through 9 in order to make this a true statement. Or it might be percents using the digits 0 through 9 at most 1 time each to make it true. Okay, and it says without rounding. You may reuse all the digits on your second statement because we have another one. Okay, so these are all about percents. because that's what you guys are about to be learning about. All right. And then also, if you look, let's go back to the rubric. 5 activities need to be completed. Then it says, this is new, choose one of the activities to complete the student recording sheet for. Okay, so there's a student recording sheet. It looks like this. And basically what I want you to do is pick one activity and write down the numbers that you did on the first time you did it. Because remember, you're actually using the little tiles to move around instead of just writing on the paper. Okay, probably the first time you did it, you did not get it correct, because I've done these myself and I didn't get them right the first time either. But what I want you to put here is, what did you learn from that attempt? And then how will your strategy change for the next time? And then maybe you try it a second time and maybe you still don't get it right. That is okay. There is some method to this, okay? But I want you to write. It might even not even take you all the way down to the 5th or 6th attempt, okay? But whatever attempt it takes you, then I want you to write and how you're going to change your strategy, okay? And again, you're only going to do that for one of the pages, not all of them, okay? Be sure to let me know if you have any questions about that. Another new activity, this is called number tiles, all right? You will get a packet, and these have been laminated for you to use those number tiles. And the first one we're going to do is called fraction tiles. So if you take a look, so you see you're actually going to use all of the digits 0 through 9, and these fit perfectly in here. And you're filling in to make it true, okay? So you have to play with it. There's lots of pages. I think there's 20 different ones of these. So like everything on this page would be equivalent to 1/2. So I can already think of like 3 6, 4 8s. But then once I've used those numbers, I can't use them again. So that's why you will actually use the tiles to place them in these pages, okay? After you complete a page, then I made a recording sheet for you guys to write them in. Notice that there's 4 of those pages. So here's the one, where's that one we were just doing? Here we go, equal to 1/2. So if that was the right answer, then you would pencil in, 4 8s, 3 6, or whatever. And you're going to turn this in again with your 15 completed sheets. So let's go back. 15 pages need to be complete. And then there is a writing prompt. It says, use number tiles to solve each page. Fill in the recording sheet for the page that you've completed. Choose one page and answer the writing prompt. Be sure to include the page number that you're talking about. So here's your writing prompt. How did you go about completing the page? You may use the following sentence stems. I knew to start here because of this. I knew to do this next because of this. To finish, whatever. Okay? And so again, if we were talking about this one, let's just pretend. Again, I would not start my writing until after I finished completing the page. But then I would do a quick little writing about that. So all of that is worth 20 points. You might be wondering, why do I only have to do 15 out of the 20 pages? That's because every once in a while you get stuck on one and you're like, man, I just can't figure this one out. Well, great, then just skip that one. Okay, that's why you have some grace here. So you're going to do 15 out of the 20. Some of these you're going to answer super quick, and then others it's going to take you time. Okay? The next thing we're talking about is a Quizlet. So you guys, I'm sure, have played Quizlet in your class, maybe not. It's kind of like a Quizizz or a Kahoot, but it's a matching where you're basically making flashcards. And if you've never played Quizlet before, you should definitely go in there and play with it before you create one. But it tells you here that you need at least a 20 problem Quizlet game that covers all decimal, fraction, and percent equivalencies. In addition, it needs to include comparing and ordering rational numbers, including percents. So that would be like, put the following numbers in order from least to greatest: 1/2, 6%, 3.8, and so on. Okay, and then here are the much more detailed, and I also included textbook pages to reference in case you need them, so that you can see the specific types of problems that I'm talking about, okay? This project is worth 20 points. And finally, I have a performance task. Basically, this is just one big long word problem, okay? So it says that you're trying to increase your music library. So your parents gave you a MySongs gift card. Your parents are only going to let you spend 80% of the amount of money on the gift card on Saturday. After you make your calculations, you find that you can spend $28 on Saturday. You visit the website and find My Song is having a sale, and so on and so on. I don't need to read this all to you, okay? But basically what you're going to do is write a note to your parents that includes the following information: how many songs that you purchased, the total amount of money that is left on your card, okay? It says that it's a great sale, so you want to purchase as many songs as you can. Your note should include all of your calculations and a complete explanation of your work. And then there is an extension question. What is the maximum number of songs that you could have bought with your $28? Because maybe you didn't want to spend all your money on this. So you're just asking them, telling them what you want to spend. But then the extension is, what is the maximum that you could have spent? So again, notice down here that this is worth 20 points. Okay? And if I'm correct, that was the last task. There's only 6 tasks this time because I feel like it's a little bit shorter of time. And plus you guys also have minor 2-4 in there, and there's a holiday in there. Okay, so one more time, everything is due on November 10th. You guys are getting introduced to this on Wednesday the 26th, when I will not be there. I will not return to school until Monday, the following Monday. So any questions that you might have, you're going to have to ask one of the math teachers in 6th grade, and hopefully they can help you. But remember that they didn't have anything to do with the creation of this. It was all me. So please, please, please try to do what you can and be as independent as you can while I am not there. Okay? Take care, you guys. See you soon.